1110 Kbnd. Depend on us. 1110
KBND Radio News time is 5:05, and a very good afternoon. And this Tuesday, I'm Dave Adams. We do want to remind you about, or tell you about police activity in the Harmon Park area of Bend right now. Notice congestion in the area of Harmon Park, Newport, Nashville. The streets are blocked off. 1400 block of Harmon Avenue, there's police activity. Police responding to a call of a suicidal, possibly armed subject in that area. And we also have a report of a lockdown of the Highland Magnet School. We will have details of that as they become available. Let's go to the news center now and check in with Steve Coffey.
Thank you, Dave. 2 Lapine residents facing drug charges after police raided a marijuana growing operation in Lapine about 7 o'clock yesterday morning.
We served the warrant at the residence. They found in 2 different buildings on the property, they had 2 different grows going. They had 96 plants total, and these plants are all in different stages of growth. And also, over 6 pounds of processed marijuana were seized.
The code team's John Gottney says 45-year-old Daryl Ray Love and 38-year-old Julia Lynn Pickney face several charges in connection with this growing operation. 10 firearms were seized along with the packaging materials to process the marijuana for sale. An Oregon State Police sergeant making a traffic stop east of Burns ended up taking $30,000 worth of marijuana off the streets.
It's a good size find. We've had a few of those within the last couple weeks. We had another near 10-pound seizure near Ashland. And then also we've had a couple traffic stops that have led to secondary locations where we found over 200 pounds of marijuana at both places down in Josephine County.
State Police Lieutenant Greg Hastings says 2 Willits, California men were arrested about 15 miles east of Burns on Highway 20. And Hastings says we are now at the end of a growing season for marijuana. Law enforcement has been fortunate enough to seize some of the illegal drug. The junk store on the north end of Redmond sustaining significant fire and smoke damage this morning. Tracy Cooper, fire marshal for Redmond Fire and Rescue, said they got the call at about 6:50 and crews found smoke and flames coming from the building when they arrived.
We actually triggered all 3 of our stations to respond and then requested mutual aid for Bend Fire Department, and they responded with a truck company for us.
Cooper says good firewalls kept the fire from spreading to the other 2 businesses in the building, although they do have some smoke damage. The cause of the fire being investigated. The junk store has been open for less than a year. Thousands of people will be helped with the 2nd annual Stuff the Bus food drive. 14 pallets of food raised during the last 3 weeks. Premier West Bank joining with Combined Communications, Mount Bachelor, and Newport Market to refill the food bank at Neighbor Impact.
Actual poundage was 8,265 pounds. Volume-wise, I think that it has doubled from last year.
That was Neighbor Impact Development Specialist Sandy Klein. This year's the Mount Bachelor ski bus was parked at different sponsors Monday through Friday, accepting public donations of non-perishable foods. And I want to remind you that just because the Stuff the Bus campaign is over, don't stop donating your non-perishable food. Neighbor Impact can use it. Friday, a day Central Oregon skiers dream of, the opening of Mount Bachelor. Resort officials firming up plans now to open.
Been looking at the 20th for a long time, and happy to say today we're going from the word projected to the word planned. So people can start making their plans for the 20th Friday for opening day up here, and of course stay tuned to the website for the latest details.
Mount Bachelor's Alex Coffin says occasional snow is forecast through the weekend, and as of today there is 25 inches at the West Village Snow Stake. Operating lifts on opening day are anticipated to be Pine Martin Express and Sunshine Express. Resort officials say expansion of open terrain and more lifts is likely on Saturday, continuing on into the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Central Oregon veterans advocates applauding a Senate vote today to allocate $50 million to help veterans. It would help pay for housing and supportive services. Donna Galantine of Central Oregon Veterans Outreach said there is a huge demand for veteran services.
In a week's time, we see somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 70 people for different things.
Legislation still must go through a conference committee and be adopted by the full Senate and House before it goes on to President Obama. If approved, the money would renovate unused VA buildings to provide housing and pursue public-private partnerships to help homeless vets. These stories and others at yournews.com. With Dave Adams, Steve Coffey, 1110 KBND Radio News.
Thank you, Steve. 11:10 KBND Radio News time is 5:10 as we take a look at leading edge aviation Skyview traffic update. Again, reminder, police activity in the 1400 block of Harmon Avenue, Harmon Park. Reports of a possibly armed and suicidal subject in that area. Police cordoning off some of the area, and we will bring this information on that when it becomes available. Skyview traffic update brought to you by Anthony's in Bend at the Old Mill District, overlooking the Deschutes River and serving the freshest Northwest seafood and steaks. Checking out the weather forecast, cloudy skies with rain and snow diminishing tonight. Partial clearing tonight, lows near 25. Chance of precip about 60%. Sunshine and clouds mixed Wednesday, highs 42. Mixture of rain or snow showers on Wednesday night as well, lows near 30 degrees. Right now in both Bend and Redmond, it is 39. Depend on us, 1110 KBND Radio News. Steve, the Stuff the Bus campaign this year was very successful. More than 8,000 pounds of food raised. Now next year we plan on doing it for 4 weeks. In October, have 2 buses, and they'll be going in more than one town at once. And being able to raise more food for folks here in Central Oregon. For those who donated, we do want to thank you. It was a lot of food, and I helped unload it this morning. Continue to donate to Neighbor Impact Food Banks because people here in the Central Oregon area really need it.
And that is the kind of the nature of a food bank, is people have a tendency to eat it up.
So
we need to constantly replenish it, make sure the shelves are full.
Good advice. Depend on us, 1110 KBND Radio News. Depend on us for sports.